What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy BALLINAIN'TEZZY, and I am back with another banger video. And today for you guys, I just got back home with the family, and we, had a little outing from my dad for Father's Day. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Love you. Yeet. And happy Father's Day to all the other fathers around the world and whoever's watching this video. If you're a dad, happy Father's Day. With that being said, make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell if you have not. Including to all my other social media platforms, including TikTok and YouTube at BALLINAIN'TEZZY, and tell a friend about it. So because we're trying to hit at least 100 subs or whatever. I'm a new content creator and I'm trying to get up there. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, in today's video, I was a little bored and I felt like talking about some Marvel stuff. So what better way to do it than to get on here and give my honest thoughts about things. I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but I'm going to be I have a few things that I want to talk about, and the first one is Spider-Man Brand New Day. I know I'm a little late to the party, but you know what? I don't care. Here I am giving my honest thoughts about the movie and how good do I think it's going to be. So, earlier this week on Wednesday, they have finally, and by finally, I mean finally, they finally dropped the trailer, the second trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, at first I was kind of worried because it's we didn't hear no new updates. I mean, we heard that ticket and stuff was going to be on sales for Wednesday or sometime next week or whatever. But you know what? I was just like, if I don't get that trailer soon, dude, I just might go and look at the leak that I seen on Twitter or whatever. But you know what? I didn't need to because they put the trailer out on YouTube. I was literally out eating with my family that day, with my mom and dad and everyone that day, and I literally see a notification on the YouTube channel for, the official YouTube channel for, everything that's, just about Spider-Man, literally said that new Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, tickets on sale now, and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, I clicked on that thing instantly. I watched the trailer. There's this opening scene of Spider-Man and Scorpion fighting, which, quick question, where did Scorpion get the new suit? Was it funded by Oscorp? Is there, possibly, are they pulling a Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man stunt? And is there a Dr. Octopus in this universe? And is he building these tech and weapons for Scorpion? Because it's I know Matt Gargan did not, make this tech for himself. What's going on here? Anyway, we see in the opening, they basically, show, listen, I'm not trying to spoil anything. If you haven't seen the trailer, pause this video, go watch it, and then come back. But if you have seen the trailer, this is a spoiler. This is spoilers. You guys have been warned. So, in the opening trailer, we see Spider-Man getting his behind handed to him for a second. He almost gets stabbed by, Scorpion's tentacle or whatever. And then we see this close-up shot inside his mask. There was this reveal of the script and how it was going to be. And I think they're trying something new where I don't know what it's called, but basically they got this new camera where you're able to see the character's eyeballs or whatever. And it makes more sense if you watch the video, if you guys watch the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day, because you guys will know what I'm talking about after you've seen that stuff. But we see his eyes turn black. It's almost, and it's just a sign of mutation. For those of you that don't know, Peter is going through this metamorphosis with his powers, because as you all know, after the events of stuff of what happened in No Way Home and him losing his girlfriend and his best friend and his Aunt May losing his father figure Tony Stark, him just basically losing everything in his life as Spider-Man and just losing everything in general, he basically, in the trailer, he said the only way to make something bad was really going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget who he was. Because he's not just Peter Parker, he is Spider-Man. And basically what Tom Holland Spider-Man is what Tom Holland is doing in this new stage of life that Tom Holland's Peter Parker is doing in this new stage of life that he's in, he is basically putting aside his life as Peter Parker and he's just focusing on his life as Spider-Man. So literally 99.9% of the movie for Spider-Man Brand New Day, we're going to be seeing him as Spider-Man more than we're going to be seeing him as Peter Parker, because it's just like I said in the last video, everyone deals with grief and loss in a way. For Peter Parker, he's basically, when it comes to grief, and I'll just say this, that way it makes sense to the point I'm trying to make. When it comes to, losing someone you care about, or, you're just dealing with something, you do the one thing that you're good at or the one thing that you love to do. The one thing that Peter Parker is good at is being Spider-Man. The one thing that he loves to do is being Spider-Man. Sure, there's some parts of it that he doesn't like, but then at the end of the day, he has this great power, so he's literally has this responsibility. See what I did there? That he's helping people, he's saving lives, because this is one of the things that Aunt May said: when you help someone, you help everyone. So that's, Peter. I just wanted to say that because they made it very clear in the Insomniac games, and they made it very clear, and they basically said they put it on Aunt May's tombstone or whatever in No Way Home and Brand New Day. So it's just Peter is dealing with the loss of Aunt May and everyone that he cares about by being Spider-Man in this movie. And I say that to say because it's just like he, at the beginning of his Spider career, when they first introduced him into the MCU in Civil War all those years ago. Can't you believe Civil War came out all that time ago? I forgot how long ago it's been, but I think it has to be about a decade now, right? It feels like it's been a decade since Civil War came out. But he did not just have a life of Spider-Man. He had two lives. He had two separate lives. One foot was in a life as an average teenager in high school or whatever, and then as Peter Parker, and then his foot was in another life as this superhero that everyone knows and loves and some thinks that is a menace, which is, Spider-Man. And I think that's basically how he was able to balance in his abilities or whatever. But now that he's putting aside his life as Peter Parker and just being Spider-Man, I think he's just kicking his powers into he's overdoing it, if that makes sense. It's like he's being him just being Spider-Man, it's just almost as if it was like he had control or whatever. But now him embracing his spider side, the side that where the radioactive spider bit him, he's fully embracing that side. And I think because of that, we're going to be seeing him go through these changes throughout the movie, because they made it very clear, and they're taking inspiration from comics, which they are as well, with the suit, and from Tobey and Andrew. I always make that very clear. The suit is not just doing a comic book inspiration take, but the suit, they made it clear in the script that was revealed that the suit, Tom Holland was inspired to make the suit from his two previous Spider-Man counterparts or whatever from different dimensions, which was Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man suits. And you know what? This is a darn good suit. I still prefer the No Way Home suit, but what it is. I still like this suit at the end of the day, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes. So basically, we're going to be seeing him go through these mutations where he's going to be getting organic webbing, and then we're going to be seeing I highly doubt that they're going to do they're going to actually fully turn him into a full-on man spider, because I do not think whatsoever that, it's going to be good. I don't think it would be a good thing for parents and most definitely the kids to see, with Tom Holland Spider-Man having 6 arms on his body and looking like this big monster spider or whatever. I do not think that's going to work, because if it does, it just might fail in the box office, and it just might be like Batman Returns all over again, and parents are going to have something to say all line, being I don't think that they should be advertising this to kids, because that's one of the reasons why we got one of the worst 2 or 3 Batman movies back in the 90s, because that's why Batman Forever and Batman and Robin with George Clooney and everybody failed, because after Michael Keaton and Penguin and everything that happened in Batman Returns, and then they wanted to advertise it, parents were they had opinions about the film, because if you guys remember the film from Batman Returns, that movie was dark. It's something that I wouldn't recommend showing your kids, and it's something that I most definitely want to show my kids until they were at a more mature age. But parents most definitely did not like that, especially with how they were advertising it with with McDonald's toys and everything. They were not happy about it, and that's why they made it more colorful and more brighter in Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. And that's what led to it being the worst Batman film, and one of the worst few Batman films in the history of Batman movies. I say that to say, because it's if they wanted to actually do a full-on mutated mutant, I forgot what it was called, but the full-on mutated spider or whatever, and Peter is having 6 arms or whatever on his body and all that, my history just might repeat itself. So I don't think that they should do that, but I think they could do all the other aspects of what happens, and I really hope that is so, because at the end of the day, it's just, what I'm saying, I don't know, but I really hope, I just really hope they I think they can make it work without there being the man spider plot with him having 6 arms. I think they can handle everything else. Because, you know, as you see when there's these close-up shots with, you know, Tom Holland's eyes and his eyes, like, you know, turn black or whatever, it could be like a bit of a mutation. Like, and also, speaking of the Black Spiders, excuse me if I'm changing the subject, me and my friend Jay, and for those of you that was wondering, like, who is Jay? He's the person, shout out to Jay for this one, because he and I were talking about this, basically. This goes to him as well, because, you know, he basically, you know, we were talking about this through text. He has me thinking about it here and there and just going back and forth about it, but we were basically talking one day, and he and I were, but he was like, you know, hey, what if this is the symbiote that's having him, like, you know, what if this is symbiote that's also watching, you know, Peter's back, that's, you know, protecting Peter as well in this in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I told him, I don't know, I'm really back and forth about it, because it's just like, even though that at the end of the film that they teased that Tom Hardy's Venom left like a sample, like a piece of a sample of the symbiote or whatever in that universe, later on when the Last Dance happened, I remember them saying online, and listen, if I missed something and they actually decided to go back to go back and leave it in Earth 616 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, okay, forget what I just said. But last time I checked, Sony was on some weird, stupid stuff, and they literally was just like, you know what, we're going to take that out of the we're going to take that tease out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we're going to make it, you know, we're going to put it back in our Sony universe and make it seem like that never happened. So as far as I know, the whole symbiote being left at the bar table, or the sample of the symbiote being left at the bar table, that was never in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was always in the Sonyverse. Why? Because Sony, I don't know why Sony did it, but they did it, and that's absolutely just frustrating. It's still frustrating to me until this modern day and age. But I do think that Tom Holland Spider-Man most definitely should get the symbiote suit, and if not in Brand New Day, he most definitely needs to have this suit in Avengers Secret Wars. For those that are true OG Marvel fans, Spider-Man does get the symbiote suit in the comics. And you can correct me if I'm wrong about this, but didn't Spider-Man debut in a black symbiote suit in Secret Wars? I'm just saying. I mean, I honestly don't. I can't recall off the top of my head, but I know for a fact that Spider-Man had the symbiote suit in Secret Wars. Was it debuted in Secret Wars? I'm not sure. Don't, you know, judge me, because listen, I'm letting you know right now, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. But last time I checked, I think that it made the symbiote suit made its debut in Avengers Secret Wars comic book back in you know, whatever year that Issue of, you know, the Secret Wars comics released. If you know what I'm saying. And honestly, there's been, like I said to Jay, I was back and forth about it. It could be that, or it could just be like a different way that they could handle the whole mutation of Spider-Man or whatever. Instead of doing, you know, the whole man spider thing, they can just do this thing where it's just like, you know, the spider, or like a spider within him, and like has like this mutation rage type of thing or something, maybe. If they did something like that, I think that would work. I mean, or no, I think it could work. I would give it a pass, especially with, you know, if you know, you know. But with that being said, after everything that I've seen in this trailer, and hold on. We finally, and by finally, I mean finally, ladies and gentlemen, Savage Hulk has returned. Yes! Hold on, I need to take a minute to breathe. Hold on, let me catch my breath really quick. Oh my gosh. My prayers, all the Marvel fans' prayers have been answered. Literally, this is something that I have been, man, this feels so good. I'm so excited. Dun, dun, dun. I can't hide it. Dun, dun, dun. Like, I honestly am just so excited because let's all be honest. Smart Hulk has overstayed his welcome. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for Bruce Banner, of course he'd be happy because, you know, his whole life he's been just scared or whatever, worried about what the Hulk might do, because when you know, he transforms into the Hulk, and Savage Hulk is just smashing and destroying everything around him, he's always worried about, like, you know, who could possibly get hurt or who might get hit, like, who might get caught in the crossfires of it all. He's always just been worried about who he might hurt or who he might just possibly kill. So he's always just been living his life scared. And now that he is at this stage of life where he knows how to control the Hulk, or he can control the Hulk in Hulk form and still be be conscious on the Bruce Banner side of it all, but just be in control of Hulk's body, of course he'd be happy about that. But for fans, for Marvel fans, this is no. Okay, maybe in Infinity War and Endgame, because I say Infinity War because there was a deleted scene where we were supposed to see Smart Hulk in Infinity War, but for some reason they cut that out, which I really wish they didn't. For some reason they cut that out, and we seen him in Endgame. You get a pass for that, but the fact that he's been he has overstayed his welcome. He's been Smart Hulk. Bruce Banner has been Smart Hulk for a long, way too long. Him being Smart Hulk in that abomination, terrible show, She-Hulk, I'm not kidding, dude. This is just... I couldn't take it. I was just like, okay. Okay. And I was like, okay, it's time to bring back Savage Hulk now. Never did happen, because it's just like, especially with all the diehard Hulk fans out there, like, I am sorry. I feel sorry that you guys even had to witness. I'm sorry to all Marvel fans that we all had to literally just witness this. Whatever the heck. I'm sorry that all of us fans had to deal with whatever the heck this was. Matter of fact, we had to literally suffer with whatever this was. Like, one movie, okay, fine, okay, it's okay. But it's like, the fact that you guys kept him around this long, come on, guys. But you know what? It'll be all, like the song goes, it'll be all over in the morning. It'll be all over in the morning. Because literally, like, as I see the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, thanks to Jean Grey, and I'm 100% assuming that it's thanks to Jean Grey, that Savage Hulk is back. And now that Savage Hulk is back, we can get back to work. We can hear him say, Hulk smash! We can go back to, you know what, we can run it all back to what we see in 2008 and 2003. Like, at this point, because I was like, it was leading to the point where at that point, I'd take 2003's Hulk over this stuff or whatever. At that point, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, but you know what? It's all good. Savage Hulk is back. Comic accurate Spider-Man is here. None of that MCU lines. None of that, that Stark Tech suit stuff. None of that nanotechnology stuff. No, we are back, people. We are back. Okay, and when Spider-Man 4 was in its early productions, and when there was back and forth, like, basically it was just like after No Way Home or whatever. Just a few months later, there were talks about whether if Spider-Man 4, which is now called Spider-Man Brand New Day, should be either grounded or if it should have another multiversal level type of movie. And me personally, I was always with the idea of being like, hey, let Spider-Man Brand New Day be grounded. After everything that Tom Holland Spider-Man has been through, it's like, that adventure, that I feel like that, adventure for his life is over with or whatnot. But I mean, or it's just like, that time is over with. We want to get back to, like, the whole grounded aspects of it all, because it's like, after everything that happened in Endgame, stuff has just not been the same. Because, like I said, it's like it took everything that the Avengers and all the heroes had to stop Thanos, and it's just like, it's like when you use up all your energy, you're just exhausted and you're tired and you're trying to relax. That's how I kind of feel like how it worked with the superheroes and all that type of stuff, because it's just they need to, they're all just trying to figure out their way, but now they're just at home relaxing, living happily ever after. But, and one more thing before I end the video. The closing part of the video is Spider-Man Brand New Day. The Spider-Man Brand New Day costume will be coming to Insomniac Spider-Man 2 video game. It was confirmed in the trailer that was posted on the PlayStation channel. And, well, this is what I'm talking about. We are back, baby. The advertisements and all that stuff, we are back. The advertisements for Spider-Man is happening, and this is what I was waiting for. I used to pray for times like this. But with that being said, I've reached my time limit. The video's about to end. Other than that, it's been your boy, Ballin' Ain't Easy. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to all my social media platforms. And I will see you all in the next one.